Hello, my name is Julie and this is KS Mom Crochets, and today is Crochet Podcast number 56. So I do have a few things finished, so I thought that I would get on here and share those with you. I hope that you enjoy hanging out with me. I know I might sound a little funny on the camera. I'm not sure if it's coming across or not, but I do have a little bit of sinuses going on, but just bear with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And the first things that I got finished were the mini no-sew cats. And these are by Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting. She did a YouTube tutorial for this, and also she has the pattern available on her Etsy shop. And this is the first one that I did. So I wanted, his nose is a little crooked, I wanted to give it the cat eyes because I have mentioned this before. I do have quite a few colored eyes that I don't use very often. I've really gravitated toward using just black eyes, and I wanted to use those little glitter eyes. I had this little scrap ball of gray that I had used on an elephant a while back, and I thought that will work perfectly. It's got a little bit of tweed in it, but it does have its little tail, and this whole entire thing is no-sew. So it's so quick to make. Once you get the hang of what you're doing, it goes by really, really fast, and it turns out super cute. So if you're looking for a little quick project, this is definitely it. But I did make two of these. This one actually looks like the cat, but this one looks like a little dust bunny to me. I wanted to use my fur yarn on it. So I followed the pattern with my fur yarn, actually this is eyelash yarn. I had made a monster out of this. It was just some scraps that I had left over from that project, and this is perfect for your scraps. So here are my two mini cats together, and like I said, this one looks like a little dust bunny, but I really do like it. I thought that it would look really cute furry, so that's what I attempted to do. But here they are, and obviously using that eyelash yarn with a sport weight yarn held together did make the project bigger. This one right here is worsted weight yarn, and I used a 3.75 millimeter hook for that. And this one is the Premier eyelash yarn with sport weight yarn held together, and I used a 5 millimeter hook for that. So I will have her tutorial linked below, but I will also have the link to her pattern in her Etsy shop. And like I said, it's really fun to do, and I really enjoyed it. And then the next thing that I made is also another pattern by Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting. And this is her newest pattern called Prince Leapsalot. And I love how he turned out. Oh my goodness, he is so adorable. So she actually gifted me this pattern. I wasn't able to test it this time. I had a lot going on, as you all know, but she did give me the pattern, which was so sweet, and I thank you so much, Crystal, for doing that. But I wanted to make this because my daughter loves frogs and she loves mushrooms, because I did put the mushroom applique on it. Now I did do it just a little bit different, just because I used a small yarn, because she uses like a worsted weight yarn. So the only thing that I did different is I didn't crochet the little white circles for the mushroom. I just embroidered some little white dots, but I think he turned out so cute, and I love the way that she did the arms and the legs. Now when you do it, the ones that I have seen done in a worsted weight yarn, they hold their shape a lot better than this one. Now I used Premier wool free sock yarn in the color green. I think it's discontinued. I don't think that you can get it anymore. But whenever I had bought that yarn, I said, I really want to make a frog out of it. That was why that I bought it. And I think that it turned out so cute on this frog. I also used a 2.75 millimeter hook on everything on this frog. But I had to use a bunch of different yarns because you all know me. That's what I do. If I don't have colors in the same yarn, I just mix all my yarns together and it works out fine. So I did use the yarn Drops Love You 7 in the color Crimson Red, Wheat for the stem here, light pink for the cheeks. I don't know if that's gonna show up. I guess it looks better from far away. And then I used Drop Saffron in the color Sunshine for the crown on its head. And then this belly patch is actually Premier Fruits sock yarn in the color Plum. So whenever I was making this, I asked my daughter to pick out, like I knew that I wanted to use the screen color for the body, but I had her pick out the colors that she wanted for the mushroom and the belly patch, because on Crystal she uses like a yellow color, and Caitlin wanted this purple, so that is what I did, because the plum color obviously has like the pink and the purple. And then I had these kawaii eyes that I had got off of Amazon. They're more oval shaped. I think I had used them like one time a long time ago, but I hadn't used them in a long time. And the only thing that I didn't like about them is the backs didn't fit on them really well. Like I felt like they were too loose. So I would, my daughter's older, so I don't have to worry about it, but that is something that you need to be aware of when you buy safety eyes off of Amazon, is to make sure that those backs fit your eyes really well, because those were just too loose. They didn't fit very well. I did attempt to embroider some grass with a little bit of scrap green that I had. I don't know why that looks like there's a dot there. I'm not sure what's going on right there, but anyway, I think I did okay on embroidering the grass, but you do have to do quite a bit of sewing on this pattern, but obviously it's so worth it because it turns out so adorable. But I did hot glue a lot of stuff on as well, like I hot glued the belly patch and the mushroom. The only thing about using hot glue and then trying to go back and embroider is that you should definitely embroider first before you hot glue. I found that out the hard way. I had a really hard time getting my needle into the, like through the hot glue that I had put underneath it. I also hot glued the little cheeks on, and then this is just a little bit of scrap black that I had for the mouth. But I think he is so adorable, and I love how when he's sitting, I didn't put anything in the bottom. She does call to put something in the bottom, but I didn't do that, and he still sits really well. But I love how his little legs can dangle down from like a shelf or something. I just think he turned out super cute, and her pattern is really reasonable. I think it's only like $2.50. And it's so worth it because I know that she put a lot of work into this pattern, and it's very easy to follow. So I highly recommend going and checking out Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting. I will have her Etsy shop with this pattern linked below, and I'm really excited that I got him done. And Caitlin loves him. She was really happy to see him done as well. Now the next thing, I think this is the last thing that I got done, is my Reversible Rose Fairy. And this pattern is by Chibi's Crafts on Etsy. And here she is. Now she is far from perfect. There were some things about this pattern that I did a little bit different. I feel like I should have used a stiffer yarn to make it hold its shape. It looks really cute, I think, as a fairy, but like I said, this is a reversible rose fairy, and you're supposed to be able to lift the dress up and make it look like a rose. And I did show this last podcast. I had started it. And like I said, I got her finished. I used a 3mm hook. I used the yarns. I love this yarn Sport in red, which is this darker red right here, and the color green. I used a yarn pack yarn that I had called Knit and Pearl in the color red. And I also used Premier Basics DK in the color Sand for her skin. And then this color on her head is the Brava Sport yarn in the color Wine. And then for her wings, I had somebody suggest doing furry white wings, and I was like, well, they'll probably come out too big. But I did take your suggestion and use white glitter wings. And this is a Hobie yarn, Hobie 84. I don't know if you can see the glitter in that, or if the light is too, I think the light might be too bright, but it does have glitter in it, and it turned out really, really cute. I think I used 6mm eyes on this. Now they do embroider their eyes, but I just wanted to use safety eyes. And then I used the same color of her hair to embroider just a little mouth. So her face does look a little different. And now I will try to show you what she looks like as a rose. But honestly, it doesn't look as, like, it doesn't hide. Excuse me. She doesn't hide in the rose like she's supposed to. This is what it looks like in a rose, but as you can see that she's in there. There's somehow, I think maybe I might have sewed the arms on wrong or something. Because there's somehow, she says to like fold the arms and it will make her look more like a rose. But my petals just do not go up far enough to hide her. But obviously from the back, from the back of her, it does look like a rose. But the concept of this is really, really cute. I think that if I ever made this again, I think that I would, one, use a stiffer yarn than what I used for the petals, because I think they would hold their shape better, because I had to hot glue them together. She didn't want you to hot glue the first layer, but she wanted her to sew the first layer, but she wanted you to sew the second layer together. And I had to do both because they just were not holding their shape. But I think another thing that I would do is, I think those petals needed to be a little bit longer, because like in the front here, they're not really long enough to hide her face, in my opinion. And maybe it's because I use different yarns mixed together and not all one sized yarn. I also think that a cotton yarn would probably have worked a lot better for this too. But I do still think that she's really cute, and I'm really happy that I made her. And the construction of this was really awesome as well. Like, I will just go into just a little bit of detail, even though I did last time. But everything is like crocheted into the front loops. Like your sepal for your rose is in the front loops. The first layer of petals is in the front loops. The top layer of petals is also in the front loops, and then all of these petals on top of the head you crochet on as well. The only thing that you have to sew on is the leaf for the stem there, the arms, the wings, and then this little detail in the front to look like hair. And then you also have to like embroider the hair on the side there, and it's supposed to help hide her face more. But like I said, whenever I put her dress up, it doesn't hide her at all. So, but I still do like the pattern a lot. I think that the concept of it is awesome, and I really enjoyed making it. It was a lot more time consuming than what I thought it was going to be, but I do think she turned out super cute. And she does like stand up, like her dress helps her stand up too. So I think that she turned out really cute, and I'm happy that she's done. So I hope that you all like my little rose fairy. And now that is all of my finished objects. I do have 3 things that I'm actively working on right now, and I'm going to go ahead and show you this because I'm almost done with it. I wanted to get it done before I did this video, but it didn't happen. But this is for Litsa over at Coco's Crochet, the Coco's CAL 2023, I think it's called. But she picked her new colors, and I did get my squares done. So I did get my squares done. So her colors were blue, yellow, green, and red. And I don't know what I was thinking when I put the green and the red together, because now I'm going to have a big Christmas square in the middle of my blanket, but that's okay. Because I know a lot of people like go in order, and I'm not really sure if I went in order of what she pulled out or not, but I just put what colors I want to put together. So like she picks 3 colors, and then she has a wild card, which gives you 4 colors that you can use. And I put them together how that I want them to go, in case you didn't notice that already. But she is doing a calendar that she picks the colors out of, and then these colors come out every 2 weeks. So we're doing 2 months in 1 month, and I think that we are on July. I think this is July. I could be wrong. Don't have my ends weaved in. I also don't have my ends weaved in on this the last squares that I did, but I will give you another peek of what my blanket is looking like. So the only thing that I have left to do is I need to edge these in black and attach them to my blanket, and they will go right underneath those 2 squares right there. So I think that they will work out pretty good, and hopefully this one's not going to look too Christmassy, but that's okay because I love Christmas. So if it has a little bit of Christmas in it, then that is fine with me. So that is my progress on my Litsa CAL over at Coco's Crochet, and I will have her video linked below where she drew out those colors so you can go and check it out. Now she is doing a stitch sampler blanket, but I decided to do the squares instead to make it a smaller project for me to keep up with, and I'm using a 6mm hook on that. Now the next thing that I worked on this week was the Fantasy Dragon amigurumi, and this is a free pattern by Stringy Ding Ding. I'm using a 3mm hook on this, and I'm using this, I use this yarn that I got on clearance last year called Baby Bee Sweet Delight, and it is Bare Blue Marled, and you can't really see that white really like washes it out, but it does have like a blue tint to it, like a light blue tint. So I did get the body done. I think I was about right here last time I showed it. I just need to weave in this in and close up the hole for the tail. I do have quite a few more pieces to go on this. I need to make I think it has horns and ears and wings, and has spikes down its back, but I don't think that I'm going to do those spikes. I think that I'm going to use a fur yarn instead, going down its back, but I do think that I'm going to do the little thing at the end of its tail, the little spike at the end of its tail. And I think that's all that I have left to do. I think she does do a little bit of indenting in the eyes too, but this worked up really easy. Like, this was easy. There's a lot of rows. It's not as many as the dragon that I did a long time ago. It's a smaller project, but it's really easy to do. Like the head, like you start at the nose and you work your way all the way down to the end, and then the only thing that you have to worry about is the little pieces that go on it. So I'm excited to see what this looks like, but obviously I worked on that fairy and the frog a lot more than I was able to work on this one. So I'm hoping that I will have this done next week. I don't really like to show the same projects over and over and over again as whips, so I'm hoping that I'll get these done so that you can see the finished product instead of having to look at it unfinished so many times in a row. Which like I said, I do really like working on this. I'm using a 3mm hook. I'm not sure if I said that or not, and I'm honestly not sure what size eyes I used. I think I used like 10mm eyes, but this is a 3-weight yarn for the body, and I really don't know what color I'm going to use for the wings and stuff. This color is so neutral that I could probably use anything that I wanted. Like anything out of my stash would probably work. I was thinking about using this color right here, which is also a Sweet Delight, and it has glitter in it. I don't know if you can, is it glitter? Maybe it's not glitter. Maybe it's just a color that runs through it, but it's really pretty, and I was thinking about using those together because whenever I bought this yarn right here, whenever I bought it, I bought this to go with it to make a blanket, but obviously I'm not going to do that, so I was thinking that I might use these for amigurumi, obviously, instead, and I was thinking that I might put this as the wings, but I'm not really sure. I could end up going a totally different route and just using something else that I have too. So we'll see what I do with this. I've got to figure that out because that is my next steps because everything would be this color that I would be adding on, except for I think the ears are the only thing left that I have to do with this. And obviously this did not take very much yarn at all. Well, there's 377 yards in this, so it probably took about a third of it maybe. It's feeling a little squishy now, so. But, like I said, this is my Fantasy Dragon, and it's by Stringy Ding Ding, and it is available free on her blog, but you can also buy the PDF version, but I'm just following the free version. I did have some great suggestions on what to do when you are following patterns on your phone because I love having a printed off pattern. I love following a pattern and being able to mark where I'm at. And they suggested row counters and just writing it down. I mean, that's just common sense, right? But I didn't think about that. So I would definitely keep those suggestions in mind the next time that I'm working on something that I can't keep up with where I'm at, because it was a struggle. My last work in progress is my bear. It's called Benji Bear, but I call it the bear in pajamas because that is what it is. It is a bear in pajamas, and it's this guy right here. I am still working on him, but I have got a lot more progress done than what I showed you last time. I'm using all Brava Sport weight yarn. I'm using the color Almond. That's for the muzzle of the bear's face. And then this color right here is called Sienna. And this is what I'm using for the body, you know, the whole entire rest of the bear. So like I said, I do have some pieces here. Last week, I showed you this head. I had its head done. I still need to embroider its face. I haven't done that yet. But I did get its head done last week, and I also had started an arm, and that is all that I had got done. But I did finish his other two arms right here, and I'm using a 3mm hook in case I forgot to say that. And I did finish his legs, and I have started his body. Now, this pattern right here, this book, Cute Crocheted Woodland Creatures, is by Emma Varnum, in case I didn't say that. And this is what the bear looks like in the book. when it's naked. Because I obviously haven't started the pajamas because I need to finish the bear so that I can try on the pajamas to make sure that they fit. So this is what he's supposed to look like when he's all done. But the cool thing about this pattern is everything is pretty much crocheted into your piece. You do have to sew on your ears, but she does tell you to leave, like, you leave slots open that you just stick your ears right down in and you just sew them right on. So it's very, very easy. Now this book is in UK terms, so if you can't read UK terms, then this book would probably not be for you. But it's very easy to follow once you wrap your head around what those abbreviations mean. But you have to follow this to a T. Like, if she tells you to do the arms first, then you do the arms, because you have to have those pieces done before you start the body. And the arms and the legs are usually things that I leave for last. So I really liked that it is this way. I don't have to worry about sewing on anything because the arms and the legs are sewed on or crocheted into the body as you're working it up, which I'm fixing to show you. You do have to sew the head on, which I don't think will be that hard to do, but we'll see how it turns out. So you sew on your head and your ears, and everything else is crocheted in. And this is what his body is looking like so far. And it looks so funny looking. I gotta put my leg down. Okay, so I'm working up the body. So this is what your normal body would look like on anything that you pretty much make, except the way that she done that is a lot different. Like, the way that she started out this body, I've never started a body that way before, so that was kind of interesting. Nothing hard, it was just interesting how that she did that. And then, like I said, you crochet, she tells you exactly where to crochet those legs in. Now, I don't know if I really got his feet exactly right. That's something that you have to really pay attention to, is getting those toes pointed, because it does have like a actual foot. It looks like a foot there, you know. But I just have to keep building up the body, and then when I get so far up, then I will sew in its arms. So I'm almost done. I'm getting there. It's just really neat. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't get the body done, so that you can kind of see what it looks like with just its little legs hanging there. It's so funny looking right now. And I was thinking that's going to be really difficult to like crochet with these legs in the way, but really it's not. Now, I did leave strings hanging from the legs. I always leave, I really waste a lot of yarn leaving my tail so long, but I would rather have a long tail than a short tail. But I probably will go back in and just like tack down the edges and stuff of the legs just to clean it up a little bit. But I'm really enjoying it. I really like how this pattern is constructed. I'm excited to get the body done so that I can start working on its clothes because I think that will be a lot of fun. I still haven't picked out his pajamas either, but I am thinking about using this, but I'm not sure because I'm kind of afraid. I'm kind of thinking that I might need to go with the same yarn on this because I don't want his clothes to come out too big. And this is, I think, a thicker yarn. This is considered a 3, and this one is considered a 2 weight, so I don't know if that would work or not. So we'll see. I really like this color and I want to use it. So I've been trying to, I've been thinking about using it on these last 2 projects that I showed you, but I don't know yet. I'm not really sure. I know that I want to do his pajamas blue and white like they are in the picture though. Just because that's what made me fall in love with him, was how he looked. That's what made me want to make him. So that is all of my finished or works in progress. I do have a couple acquisitions, but this video is getting kind of long, so I think that I will just end this video here, and then I will do a separate video for those of you all that are interested in a little mini yarn haul that I got. So stay tuned for that, because I'll probably just release them at the same time. And so I will see you all real soon in another video. Bye.